Good morning. Welcome once again to another session of political science. In our previous session, we were discussing about the challenges of nation building. Let us continue our discussion furthermore. We tried to understand that what was the consequence of partition in India. Now let us discuss the integration of princely states. Students, India had more than 565 or 565 states as princely states when the Britishers were there in control. When the Britishers had declared that they would be leaving India or India would be independent now, they declared that their paramountcy in princely state areas would also lapse. That means that these areas were now free to decide for their own fate whether they wanted to be the part of Indian territory or they wanted to join the Pakistani territories. So this was another challenge in front of Indian leadership. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, who was the Deputy Prime Minister as well as the Home Minister during this crucial period, came up with a precision and precise strategy of designing instrument of accession, according to which these princely states had to give their consent to become the part of the Indian territory, and they would be allowed to keep their riches and also a certain area so that they may run their life of legacy and privileges without any disturbances. Maximum princely states agreed and followed the suggestions given by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, but four specific regions did not wanted to sign the instrument of accessions. At number one is Kashmir. At number two was Hyderabad. At the third number was the state of Manipur, and at the fourth number was the state of Junagadh in Gujarat. The government of India also had a different approach towards the outlook of these princely states. The government kept three considerations. Firstly, they the government knew that mostly the public of the princely states wanted to join Indian Union. Secondly, the government also knew that these areas had come up or they had become independent, and the government wanted to give them autonomy also. Autonomy means the power to take decisions for their own self also. And the government wanted to be flexible with them because India had undergone a partition recently, and a demarcation of territory was required. Moreover, the government wanted to have a very smooth and soft approach towards these disturbing issues. So let us begin with the case of Kashmir. Kashmir was under the dominance of Maharaj Hari Singh. He neither wanted to join the Indian Union nor did he wanted to join Pakistan, and he wanted to maintain his autonomy. But what happened that the tribal insurgency started taking place in Pak occupied Kashmir areas, and ultimately, Maharaj Hari Singh was left out with no option, but he had to ask for Indian military's assistance in dealing out with such insurgencies. So, the government of India provided him assistance, but on a condition that Kashmir will be merged with India. So, Raja Hari Singh said that they would be having a referendum in Kashmir Valley, and on the basis of that referendum, the decision would be ultimately taken by the people. So this was the issue of Kashmir. But Unfortunately, before holding that referendum, Maharaj Hari Singh died, and the question kept on lingering for many, many years, and we all are very well aware about the issue of Kashmir then. Another trouble came up with the region of Hyderabad, where the Nizam was there in power, and he also did not wanted to become the part of the Indian Union, nor did he wanted to join Pakistan. He wanted to maintain autonomy. He wanted to maintain his independence, and because of this, a clash had come up because he was one of the richest person of the world, the Nizam of Hyderabad. So it had become a quite challenging task for Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel also. So somehow he entered into what is called as a standstill agreement with India in November 1947, and a long negotiation of 1 year continued on with the Indian government. Moreover, in the Telangana region of Hyderabad, the peasantry, that means the common people, especially the farmers and artisans, they were not very happy with the rule of Nizam, and they wanted to become the part of Indian Union. But Nizam took a very oppressive approach towards their movement, and he had unleashed a paramilitary force called the Razakars. These were mercenaries, and they took up or crushed the revolution of the peasants in a very violent manner. Many people were murdered, women were raped, and looting took place. And ultimately, in 1948, the Indian army intervened and took over control of Hyderabad. Third issue is of Manipur. Manipur was under the control of Maharaja Bodh Chandra Singh, and he was also having dialogues with the Indian leadership about his merger or signing the instrument of accession with India. But just before he could sign the accession, under the public pressure, the Maharaja had to get elections held in Manipur in the year 1948, and in these elections, Manipur became a constitutional monarchy and became the very first Indian state which had taken up universal adult franchise as the base and had conducted elections in India. So during the elections, the Legislative Assembly of Manipur was elected, and this assembly was divided into two fractions. The Congress party wanted the merger with India, while the other political parties were not in the favor of this merger. But somehow Maharaja had to sign a merger agreement in the year 1949, with which the Legislative Assembly of Manipur was not happy. And you all know that this anger, this resentment is still continuing in Manipur, and the repercussion means the consequences are still being faced by the Indian government in context of Manipur. Now, let us discuss about the reorganization of states. Children, when India had become independent, then small areas or states were holding, for example, if we take the example of Odisha, Odisha was holding 26 small states. In the same manner, Saurashtra region in Gujarat had 14 big states and 119 small states, and various other different administrations. So India was divided in an uneven manner, and reconstruction or nation building could not take place until and unless the reorganization of states took place in a satisfactory manner. where there was a demand that the people or the state should be demarked on the basis of languages. Some areas wanted that they should be demarked on the basis of religion. Some areas wanted that they should be demarked on the basis of regional approach. So the government of India decided to go for the linguistic zones. The rest part we will be discussing in our next class. Thank you and have a knowledgeful day.